What we do in life goes in eternity.
It is the end of the year of our Lord 2024, which can only mean one thing. It's fighting season. Whether it's Donald Trump beating Kamala Harris right out of her pantsuit, Mike Tyson beating poverty by letting Jake Paul feel like a winner, or Buffering beating the absolute snot out of Netflix, one thing is certain. The holidays are upon us and someone is getting the shit kicked out of them.
You don't act right, you're not part of the family. Whoa. Oh, you threw a turkey at me?
Listen, by any standard, making a sequel to Gladiator is a no-brainer. Like seriously, there was no brains when they sat down and thought this through. Ridley Scott's brains seem to have checked out since The Martian. That was almost 10 years and 6 awful movies ago. And Gladiator 2 arrived almost a quarter of a century since Gladiator was released. Holy shit, putting it that way makes you feel old as hell if you saw Gladiator in theaters, and I better get my will together.
I'm not too old for this. You will not. We're not too old for this shit. We're not too old for this shit.
Screenwriter David Scarpa is still fighting with how exactly screenplays work, not sure how he's still getting jobs. Maybe he's mafia-backed or something. He's slated to be writing Cleopatra next, and it won't surprise me if she's from Wakanda again.
I remember my grandmother saying to me, I don't care what they tell you in school, Cleopatra was black.
And I don't care what anyone says. His Cleopatra better be a hit or he's falling down the same hill Jay Leno did.
Your poor face. Look at my eye. It broke my wrist, lost the nail on the finger, and then I'm all black and blue.
Now look, if we're going to be completely honest here, no matter how good Gladiator 2 was going to be, it was never going to live up to Gladiator, of course. It didn't matter if it was the one we got, or the batshit insane and shelved Nick Cave script Russell Crowe commissioned a couple years after Gladiator. Ridley Scott and David Scarpa knew this, but to people like them in the studio, legacy is meaningless. It's payday, boys, and Ridley's got grandchildren with modeling careers that isn't going to support them at all.
Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof.
Recently, when Russell Crowe sat with a podcaster, he was pressed about Gladiator 2 and his legacy when he said this.
I'm slightly uncomfortable, the fact that they're making another one, because, of course, I'm dead and I have no say in what gets done. But a couple of things that I've heard, I'm like, oh, no, that's not in the moral. That's not in the moral journey of that particular character.
That's pretty straightforward stuff if you read the lines. But if you read between the lines, seems like Crowe isn't too impressed that Ridley Scott pursued such a dumbass sequel. When asked about it, Ridley Scott, old jacked up on Adderall and tea, said in his very American accent, I think Russell Crowe is still one of the best actors in the world, and I think we have a good relationship. I hope we do. As long as he doesn't start bitching about how he wasn't consulted. Why would I? He's dead. Now, does he think Crowe is dead or Maximus? It's never explained, and Ridley is 86, so one can only guess. But you do know what this means.
Hello, everybody. I'm Russell Crowe, and this is Fighting Around the World.
Seems to me that only one of these people care about legacy. And the other one is Ridley Scott. Legacy is like a time capsule of inspiration, showing future generations someone once did some cool shit. It's the shoulders of giants, something everyone can build on. But the boomer generation, the same that gave us dirty hippies and feminism, is filled with spoiled brats, crocks of shit, and sellouts. Their parents gave them the world, and all they want is more and leaving behind less. Crowe is the only one out of the Gladiator bunch that is willing to preserve the film's integrity as well as his own legacy. Some people are saying Crowe is sore that he isn't getting paid at all, especially since most of his interviews within the last 2 years seem to be more about Gladiator 2 and less about his own projects.
They should be fucking paying me for the amount of questions I've had to answer about the fucking film that I'm not even in.
Shit, if I was fielding as many questions about something I'm not even remotely a part of, I'd be demanding compensation as well. Toss me a beer or something before you ask your dumb questions. And yeah, Crowe later said that there was a tinge of jealousy that he wasn't consulted at all about the sequel or its direction. But then you have Ridley Scott out there shooting his mouth off like he's some kind of NBA basketball player who's made more classics than Crowe. I know, Sounds unbelievable, but go compare their filmographies. I'll be here when you get back. In fact, let me know in the comments. Pound for pound, whose filmography wins in a death match? My money's on Crowe's. In Gladiator 2, Paul Mescal had to fight rabid CGI monkeys. But, hear me out on this. What if they deleted that movie? I mean, of course it should be done anyways. But instead of that abomination that they tried to release, we put Ridley Scott in the middle of the Coliseum, and he has to fight a rabid Russell Crowe. Knee-jerk reaction is you think Russell has this fight in the bag. He's got the height advantage, the weight, not gonna lie, a lot of weight, and the fight experience. But Ridley is a cranky old man. Then you throw in old man strength and level 10 Adderall focus? I don't know, I think Russell Crowe's in trouble, dude. I don't care how much weight he's cut recently. Old man strength is no joke. You wake Ridley up slightly too early, he could probably huck a tree into outer space. Anyways, we could put this fight live on Netflix and collectively watch it buffer, and then bitch the next morning on social media about the only thing we saw was Russell Crowe's ass. Anyways, let me know who wins this fight. Is Russell Crowe right for being slightly bitter that they didn't hit him up about Gladiator 2? Or is Ridley Scott right for telling Russell Crowe to stop bitching and it has nothing to do with him?
I need to stop this one now.
Do yourself a favor, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more of my award-winning personality to fix your day. Not that I care about it or anything, but I got you. I'm out of here.